My name is Rex O. Mapusaw, BSBAON2 in Philippine Christian University. So, ngayon gagawin ko is magtatanong ako kay Dave. Siya yung mismong interviewing ko doon sa about sa national identity. So, Dave, magpakilala ka.
So, ako po si Eleazar Dave Icana Jr. from Silang, Cavite. So, ako po yung mag-a-answer sa mga question na itatanong ni Sir Rex.
So, first question. What are the importance of national identity?
So, national identity has been pivotal to the fortunes of modern states. When channeled in the form of an exclusive and intolerant ethno-nationalism, it can drive acts of persecution and aggression. Yet, national identities can also be built around liberal and democratic political values and around the shared experience of diverse communities. Contrary, arguments that the concept of national identity and state sovereignty have become outmoded. Such an inclusive sense of national identity remains critical to maintain a successful modern political order. National identity not only enchants physical security, but also inspires good governance, facilitates economic development, fosters trust among citizens, engenders support for strong social safety nets, and ultimately makes possible liberal democracy itself.
Second question. What is the importance of being knowledgeable of national identity?
For me, national identity can be regarded as a group effort. A system of beliefs, values, assumptions, and expectation is passed down to group members through socialization. National symbols, customs, and regulations of national experience and success are all examples of collective characteristics of national identity. So these elements have a long history in the United States. Depending on how much the individual is exposed to the socialization of the system, people incorporate national identity into their personal identity to different degrees and in different ways. And the collective elements of national identity may become important parts of an individual definition of the self and how they view the world and their own place in it.
Third, how can develop our national identity for you to understand?
So, the less developed societies are characterized by strong ascribed national identities based on birth, territory, and religion, but also by strong voluntarities, identities based on civic features selected and achieved by an individual. While the former decreases with further modernization, the latter may either decrease or remain at high levels and coexist with instrumental supranational identifications. So typical for the most developed countries, the results, which are also confirmed by multi-level regression models, thus demonstrate the increasing modernization in terms of development contributions to the shifts from classical, especially ascribed identities, towards finding are particularly relevant in the turbulent times increasingly dominated by the hardly predictable effects of the recent mass migrations. For example, people may feel the belonging to their societies in various ways.
Fourth question. Why we need fact-finding attitude to know our history in national identity?
People may feel the belonging to their societies in various ways, ranging from strong blood kinship relationships, typically for the tribal communities, to the pragmatic instrumental motive usually linked on the modern industrial societies. Although nation and national identities are usually seen as a product of modernity, the ways in which they are felt in experience are not necessarily compatible with the features of modern society. So the relationships, typically for the tribal communities to the pragmatic instrumental motives, usually linked to the modern industrial societies and the way in which their felt experience are not necessarily compatible with the features of a modern society. The purpose of this article is to identify the different or even opposing types of national identity and test their relationship with developed modern society. So based on the existing theory and empirical survey data, we intend to distinguish.
So, last question. What is national identity is formed? You to understand.
So in a traditional state, individuals and groups are in relatively stable social environment and a stable living in production space. In those national circumstances, due to the ascribed role arrangement and the internalization of identity, the identify of individuals and group does not need construction and choice. However, in the context of globalization, national identity is increasingly becoming a problem. And technological progress extends that the defined temporal spatial boundaries are in the peaks network of contacts. As the physical boundaries are constantly changing and being surrounded. A national or a nation state as the most stable organization carrier is also submerged in the flow of modernity. With the disappearance of determinacy, the mobility of space and comprehensive relative swapping of the changing concept of time, space, and culture. So national culture or connotation will be implied, filled, and reproduced, while national identity is encountering obscuronomy at a subjective level and has no objective. Thank you.
So, yun. Thank you po.
Thank you.
Okay na.